Hello and welcome to
Policy and Politics
with me, Tarun Nangia. My guest today has had an illustrious career as an IPS officer. You last saw him as the chief of the Enforcement Directorate. He is known for his forthright views and a no-nonsense personality. Mr. Karnal Singh has recently penned a book about the Batla House encounter. As you can see, this is the book Karnal Singh, the Batla House encounter that shook the nation. This is published by Rupa, as you can see, Rupa Publications. And in today's up close and personal interview, he will share anecdotes from his life, from his first posting also, and interesting incidents from this book, Batla House, which were never known to all of us. Mr. Karnal Singh, welcome to Legally Speaking.
Thank you.
So, let us start from the beginning. You've served for 34 years in the police force. And why did you choose to write this book, if I may ask you at the outset?
See, the first reason is I wanted to bring about the excellent work done by my officers.
Your officers.
What happened is actually some of the officers at lower level, that is constables and head constables, came to meet me after my retirement. And during the discussion, they were telling me that their names never come up, though they work so hard. So that is first reason. I wanted to bring about what all these people did. And secondly, what difficulties these officers face when handling any investigation relating to terror. Not only the special cell officers, the same difficulties are being faced by the officers of anti-terror cell of any state or the National Investigating Agency. See, thirdly is, so many years have passed. Even now there are people here and there, they talk about this encounter.
Yes, the Batla House encounter is very famous and infamous both.
Yes. Though this encounter was examined by the National Human Rights Commission,
Yes.
and in 2009 itself, NHRC gave its finding that it's a genuine encounter. The report of NHRC was accepted by the High Court and the Supreme Court, but still such remarks are painful to us. So therefore, I decided to pen down various events after the blast took place in Delhi on 13 September 2008, how the investigation was done, the encounter and aftermath of the encounter. I have penned down everything in this.
Okay. But this is an up close and personal interview where we'll discuss your book, we will discuss the person you are, we will discuss your first posting. So let us start from the beginning. When we were researching for this interview, we came to know that joining the IPS wasn't your first plan, as they say. You were a professor and then you joined the police forces?
See, after my graduation from Delhi College of Engineering, I did post-graduation from IIT Kanpur in computer science. Then I took admission in TIFR Mumbai for a PhD. My inclination is a teaching, and therefore I like a job where I would teach people, I would train people, and I would have joined as a faculty in some of the institute. But what happened is, immediately after I passed out from IIT Kanpur, I fell ill and I remained in hospital on and off for almost 2 years. After I got all right, I tried for a job in my discipline.
Which is?
Different places, the Tata Consultancy Services and other places. I tried the job, and meanwhile I appeared in civil services examination. Though it was never my choice to join this bureaucracy. But then before I get an offer for job in my field, I got an offer in the civil services, in the Indian Police Service, and then I joined it. And when I joined it, I was not knowing what sort of jobs I have to do. But in the hindsight, I feel satisfied and happy about joining this.
I want to ask you, how was your mains interview when it happened? You gave the prelims of the civil services, you passed. Then you gave your mains interview. Do you have any recollections of your mains interview?
Yes. See, what happened is, since I was not on any job for almost 2 to 3 years.
Because of your health?
Yes. Yeah, because of health. The chairman of the board asked me what I was doing during this period. So I told him that I was reading the detective stories and the religious books.
Yes.
So he asked some of the detective novels which I had read about them. Then he went on to the religion. Most of the questions, apart from my discipline, that is physics and electronics, most were from the religion.
Yes.
Like what is karma yoga, uh, what is written in Gita. Then on Ayurveda, some quotes he asked me. So I felt that my interview was very good because of the chairman and the board was considerate to wanted to know whether what I was telling was truth or that was not truth.
So, when you were selected, what was your first emotion, if you remember, that when you got to know that you've been selected for the civil services after mains interview? You realized that what career you were getting into, or you were too young to realize it in that sense?
See, I hail from the rural background.
Yes.
My father was a farmer.
Yes.
I was not aware of bureaucracy.
Yes.
Not aware of even the structure of the government.
Yes.
And I would say I only looked at, yes, I am joining a police service.
Yes.
Beyond that, I was not aware what will be my ultimate roles.
Yes.
What difficulties or challenges I have to face.
Yes.
I was not aware at that time.
Yes. So, you passed and you got your first posting in the Delhi police. You
Yes.
got the UT cadre, as they say,
Yes.
which is Delhi, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa, these three domains.
Delhi, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, Mizoram, Andaman.
And did you serve in all
Chandigarh.
those places?
No, I served in Delhi, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram and Goa.
4 places.
Yes.
Now, to start with, what was the first day of your first job? Where were you posted initially?
See, initially I was posted in licensing branch of Delhi Police for a few months.
Yes.
And then I was posted in the field as ACP Motinagar.
Okay. So, how were the first few days in DCP licensing branch where you were posted? You were posted as ACP there.
Yes.
So, what did you do? What is the initial work that you were assigned? What did you deliver? Any sort of good work or recognition that you got in your first posting?
See, licensing branch basically deals in giving licenses for arms, for eating houses, for cinema halls.
And this was in what year?
It was in 1987.
1987. So the Delhi of 1987, but everything was be manual.
Yeah, the records were manual at that time. And then I looked at so many applications were pending about the eating houses.
Yes.
So I took out all those applications, did survey of all those places,
Yes.
including the areas of Jama Masjid, Chandni Chowk and all these places. And to my surprise, many of the places, the eating house was closed because the application was pending for so long.
Is it so?
Yeah. So therefore, what was required and what is required is the monitoring of the pendency.
Yes.
So that was my first reaction to while joining the service, that one thing is the subordinates put a file to us.
Yes.
And we decide. The second thing is we look into the files and find out where the files are pending.
Okay.
And force the people to put up the files.
Yes.
In proper manner so that the files are not delayed unnecessarily.
Yes.
And this delayed submission of the files also result into corruption.
Yes.
Because then people palm off some subordinate and then only that file will be put up.
Yes.
So I decided since beginning itself that the files monitoring system,
yes,
one should manage wherever one is posted.
At that place, were you given any responsibility to computerize, or that age was a manual age and it continued?
See, what happened is after this I went to ACP Motinagar. I remained there for around 1 year.
Achha. So from licensing branch you were only for 2-3 months?
Yeah.
And then you went to ACP Motinagar.
What happened at that time is Delhi Police was computerizing their systems.
Okay.
It was
87 computerization had started in Delhi Police?
Yes, 88.
88.
So it was about the crime criminal system, the personal information system and payroll system.
Yes.
And keeping my background in mind, I was transferred to as ACP computers and then promoted as DCP computers.
Okay.
While doing this, one day Commissioner of Police, Raja Vijay Karan,
yes,
he called me in his office.
Yes.
there was a team of software engineers from some firm
Yes.
was sitting with him.
Right.
They were planning and discussing about the computerization of licensing branch.
Right.
So after they left, I told the Commissioner of Police that why are you giving this project to this company? We can do in-house.
Yes.
So he was a bit surprised. He says that this officer, young officer, is taking a challenge.
Yeah, because otherwise in government departments you outsource everything. You give it to consultants to complete.
Yes. So then through my staff, I got it done.
Yes.
And it was inaugurated at that time, the software, by the then Minister of State, Government of India, Home Affairs. And Commissioner of Police gave reward of 25,000 to my subordinates.
For completing it.
For completing that project. Yes. So that was very satisfying.
Right. Did you receive recognition for this?
Yes.
Were you recognized in that this is some young officer?
Yes, during the inauguration, the CP told about me.
Yes.
To the whole gathering.
That instead of getting people from outside, this young officer has done it himself.
Yes.
Saved the money to the exchequer.
Yes.
So that was one of the appreciation and the accolade you got. Now moving forward, I would like to know what happened after that. How many years did you spend in Moti Nagar or as DCP computers, ACP computer? How many?
See, it was a very short period. Before I left for Arunachal Pradesh in 1989, there was one more challenge I got.
What was that?
See, what happened is, at that time, constables recruitment used to be done by Delhi police.
Yes.
Even now it is being done. So, the sports marks were 30 marks.
30.
Then written marks were 40.
Yes.
And interview was 30 marks.
Right.
Written was subjective type. So, I was sent for written examination evaluation.
Yes.
So, there was a big hall after the examination was done, where one table, 3 chairs for one group of checking, and there were around such 20 to 30 tables were there. Each table was given certain papers. So what I observed is some senior officer would come, take out a paper and check himself, which we should have checked.
Okay.
So I came back and I used to report to the number 2 in Delhi Police, Mr. Arun Bhagat.
Okay.
So I told him this episode. So he says, okay, next time you should conduct the examination.
Right.
So I made objective type paper next time.
Right.
And to be checked by the sheets so that we can do very fast checking. When I went there with these objective type, there were objections from the invigilators of Delhi Police.
Yes.
They were not happy about it.
Yes.
They even commented that Colonel Singh will take Delhi Police to 21st century. So, however, the senior most officer who was there, Mr. Chandra Prakash, he ultimately shouted at them, said that you please do your job.
Yes.
The examination was conducted, the result was declared.
Yes.
Then interviews were there.
Yes.
So, I was compiling the whole results. So, I did between written exam and interview the correlation.
Yes.
I found negative correlation.
Okay.
So, I reported this to, again, Mr. Arun Bhagat, saying that there is something wrong in interviews.
Yes.
The people who are getting very good marks in written, they are getting poor marks sometimes in interview.
Yes.
So then he says, you suggest something.
Yes.
So what I suggested is that there should be 10 interview boards.
Yes.
And nobody should know which candidate is coming to them.
Yes.
From headquarters, we will have 10 envelopes.
Yes.
Sent to them through a courier.
Yes.
Before the examination, before the interview starts.
Yes.
And randomly those envelopes should be given to the interview board.
Yes.
So neither we know nor they know.
Yes.
Nor is the candidate knows.
Yes.
So there is no possibility of getting support from any quarter. Secondly, I requested for change of marks.
Right.
From 30 for the interview to the 11. Less marks. So it was accepted.
Yes.
Thereafter, when I came back from Arunachal, I was in vigilance.
Yes.
So I was again given task of
Yes.
conducting the test. Then we computerized it.
Yes.
Like
the tests were computerized.
Tests were computerized, like done in UPSC. Same time of checking was done. These number of boards were there. CCTV were put.
Yes.
So thereafter there was no complaint of anything about the
recruitment.
So I think I brought transparency in the recruitment of Delhi
And
police.
this was in the early days of your career.
Yes.
The first 3-4 years.
Yes.
Now, moving in from that, did you get transferred to Arunachal Pradesh after being in as ACP computers?
Yes.
So, what was the experience in Arunachal Pradesh like? What happened in Arunachal Pradesh? You were, as you told me, you were a Delhi boy who was born and brought up in Delhi. Now, people in big cities can't get used to small places easily. So, what was the good point of being in Arunachal Pradesh and what was the difficulty that you had?
See, difficulty was that the office support
Yes.
of rules and regulations
Yes.
was not very good.
Okay.
Like the clerks in the office will tell, if you ask something, what is the rule? He says, sir, whatever you will write is a rule. So one has to start reading the rule books.
Yes, you mean the state laws.
Yeah, state laws as well as central laws.
Yes.
So that is one advantage.
Yes.
I wrote edited basically a book on customary laws of Arunachal Pradesh.
Okay.
Because the whole IPC system doesn't work there,
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
It works only at that time,
Yes.
within 5 kilometers of the headquarter
Yes.
and 200 meters on either side of the state highways.
Okay.
Remaining place, it is the customary laws which were applicable.
Yes.
So I conducted a seminar and edited the book on that at
Yes.
that time. Then I found that people in that place, they're very truthful and straightforward.
Right.
And that's a good to work with them, good to be associated with them, honest people. I worked in Bomdila for 2 years.
Okay.
After working Itanagar for 1 year.
Yes.
I started, because there is a lot of time available
Yes.
when you work at these places. I started playing cricket with the students.
Students of local. Yes.
The college students.
Yes.
And secondly, I used to go them in forests sometimes for archery also.
Yes.
So that builds a camaraderie, the closeness between the local people and me. And that was a very good experience with them.
Yes. Arunachal, you learnt about a different kind of people in a sense because North Indian culture and culture in Northeast, two different cultures they come from, and you got a new experience of culture of Arunachal Pradesh. Any other memory that you have of being in Bomdila and Itanagar?
See, very interesting anecdote I'll tell you.
Yes.
The one day Secretary Industry rang me up.
Yes.
Saying that your constable at the border, Arunachal and
Yes.
Assam border, that is a Bandardeva place,
Yes.
has taken money from their truck driver.
Okay.
So I told him, let's go to the border.
Yes.
So both of them
You
reached the border. We had taken the truck driver
Okay.
in our car.
Yes.
So I asked truck driver, he pointed out towards the constable
Yes.
from a distance.
Yes.
Then I and Secretary Industry approached the constable
Yes.
and said him, you have taken the money from industry truck?
Yes.
He says, yes, sir.
Huh.
So where is that money? So he brought out.
He showed it to you.
Yes, he showed. I said, why did you took money from him? Sir, I have not taken money. He has given me money.
So he was a localite.
He was a localite. So then I said him, what will you do?
Yes.
He told, sir, we have our own the tea making system here. We use this money for that tea making. So I asked Secretary Industry, what should I do? Should I suspend him? He says, no, leave him. He's so truthful and straightforward.
What to do?
So we corrected the system there. I started giving them from my funds
some tea
money.
allowance.
But you see the simplicity of the person.
Yes. There is no scheming or those kind of things.
Yes.
So then you came back to Delhi?
Yes.
In 2 years. Where were you posted after coming?
Initially, I was posted for a brief period as DCP Headquarter 3.
But was this the time when the Mandal riots happened?
Yeah, it was just after Mandal riots.
So it was after 92.
It was after 92. I came back in July 92.
Okay. And how was Delhi like during that time? Because Mandal was a very... I think the character of the Indian society, politics and everything changed after Mandal politics. So I think there would
See,
be...
for me, Delhi was
Home
because I am from Delhi.
Yes.
So I don't find anything new happening except that the lot of in-migration was there in
From
Delhi.
outside.
From outside. Except that I find Delhi as a home.
Home. So, what posting did you get? Once?
See, initially I got DCP at quarter 3.
Yes.
For 2-3 months, and the job here was the quarter allotment to the force.
Yes.
I again computerized the system of quarter allotment to bring transparency.
Yes.
So that nobody says my right has been taken away.
Yes.
Then I was posted in a battalion.
Yes.
And the CP then, Mr. M.B. Kaushal,
Yes.
told me very clearly that the force is not reaching in time to the places where they have to be deployed.
Okay.
So the task given to me was that to make the force, the maximum number of force to reach at the particular places wherever there is a requirement. So I made a system of, again through the computers, that morning I'll get a report as soon as I reach the office. I get a report of previous day from which company.
Yes.
We used to deploy from various paramilitary also, and the 10 battalions were
Yes.
there in Delhi police. And then I used to write a letter in the morning that your force has so much shortages and reached so
Yes.
much late. So this formalization of the system
Yes.
helped bringing discipline in the system, and the forces were reaching in time.
Yes.
Then I was posted as DCP Northwest District.
Okay.
It was a field posting where I remained there from 93 to 95.
How was your time as DCP Northwest? Any interesting cases that you cracked that time? What was your posting like that time?
See, the Northwest District at that time
Yes.
included urban area as well as rural area.
Okay.
The places like it extended from Delhi University. Delhi University was not part of it, but beyond Delhi University, if you go to the outer area,
Yes.
Ashok Vihar and
That all was part of
Rohini was coming up at that time.
Okay.
Going to the rural area, Narela,
This is 93.
93,
93.
Bhavana area.
Yes.
So I used to go to the rural areas, meet with the villagers,
Okay.
have meetings with them to understand their problems.
Yes.
Similarly, in the urban area, meeting with the resident welfare associations.
Yes.
It used to be a first-hand experience.
Yes.
And you would know how your force is performing. They are
Yes.
performing good or they are not performing to the expectations of the public.
People talk to you?
Yes, they used to talk to me. They used to give very useful information also.
Yes.
And that helped with bringing the system in place. Like if somebody, some police officer is not behaving
Yes.
in a locality properly, then I used to know immediately.
Yes.
The secondly, there is one interesting incident took place when I was posted there.
Yes.
See, one businessman
Yes.
approached me.
Yes.
He was being threatened by a kidnapper
Yes.
named Dinesh Thakur.
Yes.
He was asking him some money,
Okay.
basically extortion call.
Extortion call.
So I asked ACP Ravi Shankar to work on this case. And we also asked the businessman to keep negotiating.
Yes.
So ultimately their deal was struck.
Yes.
And the businessman was supposed to pay something around rupees 2 lakh
Yes.
to Dinesh Thakur in Ashok Vihar market.
Yes.
So when they came,
Yes.
and Ravi Shankar team tried to arrest them, there was a firing between them.
Okay.
My office of DCP Northwest District is very close to Ashok Vihar market.
Okay.
So hearing about the encounter,
gunshots?
Yeah, I immediately went to the market.
Yes.
The encounter was still taking place.
Yes.
The shopkeepers pointed me to a person running away.
Yes.
So I started running after him.
So you started following.
Yeah. A constable brought a car
Yes.
immediately, and I sat in a car to follow him. But then he turned to the by lanes where car would not go. So we left the car, he chased him.
Yes.
When we caught him,
Yes.
he immediately brought out a card saying that he's a journalist. But on his search, we found a weapon with him. The person's name was Aftab Ansari.
Okay.
I have mentioned this anecdote in my
So,
book.
if you viewers, if you want to know more about this incident, you must read Batla House by Colonel Singh. But sir, you may continue.
See, this Aftab Ansari later proved out to be a person who initiated Indian Mujahideen.
So the man or the boy
Yes.
who you then caught later started Indian Mujahideen. This was inside the jail that he...
Yes, what happened is in the jail actually, there were 3 persons I would say in the Tihar jail.
Yes.
One was Aftab Ansari hailing from Calcutta.
Right.
Now this boy wanted to become a terrorist.
Yes.
And he wanted training in the Pak occupied Kashmir.
Yes.
He went to Kashmir for
Yes.
that.
Yes.
He met terrorists in Kashmir
Yes.
who gave him some initial training
Yes.
of using arms and ammunitions.
Yes.
But they said that the vigilance at the border is very high. They will not be able to send him to Pakistan.
Yes.
Then he went to Bangladesh.
Yes.
From there also he could not go. Then he tried to take visa.
Yes.
He did not get the visa to go to Pakistan. Then he joined the group of Jammu and Kashmir terrorists
Okay.
who were planning to have blasts in different parts of the country.
Yes.
So in that process he came to Delhi and he was arrested by Delhi police at that time.
Okay.
Somewhere around 94 or so. He was in jail. Then there was another person, Omar.
Omar.
So Omar Said Sheikh, he was a Huji
Yes.
member.
Which is Harkatul Jihadul Islami.
Yes.
Yes.
He hailed from UK,
Yes.
came to Afghanistan, and from there he came to India.
Yes.
His task was to get some terrorists of Huji released from the jail.
Okay.
So he planned and he kidnapped 4 foreigners, 3 Britishers and 1 from America.
But this is in Delhi, the kidnapping happened, or in America?
Kidnapping happened in Delhi.
Okay. But these citizens were Americans?
Yes.
Okay. And 1 from Britain?
3 from Britain,
3
1 from America.
America.
So the 3 were kept in a house in Ghaziabad and 1 was kept in a village in Muzaffarnagar area. Actually, he gave them a story that his father has left a big village area for him.
You mean the kidnapper, which is Omar?
Yes, the kidnappee.
So,
Kidnapper told the kidnappee
okay.
that his father has left a big
Village.
farmland in a village and he would like to show them. He became friendly with them.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.